Hi, Kevin Coop here, and this is FaceTime with the Content Guy, coming to you this morning from the campus of Portland State University. I'm here, I'm enjoying my adjunctivity. This is an empty classroom, but it's going to be full pretty soon of students just dying to learn stuff, and I'm hoping I'm going to be able to share a little bit with them. I actually wanted to talk to you this morning about the Organic Produce Summit. It's something I did a couple of weeks ago while I was on break. Had a chance to go down there and moderate a session and sit in on some of the other sessions that they did and really get a sense of that industry. And I have to say, the Organic Produce Summit, it's amazing how that has grown. It's almost doubled in size in just the few years they've been putting it on. I've been lucky. I've been at every one as a speaker or a moderator, and they do an absolutely terrific job. And I really recommend it to anybody who has never been to it, who's interested in organic produce. You got to go. It's a terrific event. And next summer, Monterey. Can't get any better than that. The keynotes this year, I have to tell you, were absolutely spectacular. These were two incredibly strong keynotes. First of all, there was Dan Barber, one of the great chefs in America, a pioneer in the whole farm-to-table movement, and he was terrific in talking about how, in his mind, deliciousness is the ultimate differential advantage for people in the food business. And listen, this is something that he has been passionate about for a long time. I've been to his restaurants in New York, which are both incredibly great and incredibly expensive. Figuring out how to transfer the farm-to-table movement into something a little bit more affordable, that's more mainstream for a larger number of people. It's a little bit more difficult than people would like it to be, but I do think it's definitely something worth trying to achieve. Again, something to aspire to. But the really great keynote was by a woman named Robin OBrien. And Robin OBrien is a financial analyst turned, food evangelist, although I'm not sure she would like that. And she told some amazing stories, and I'm going to make sure I put some links into the text version of this so you can see a TED Talk she did and see other stuff about her. But basically what she's talking about is the notion of how the growth in food allergies and allergies that create life-threatening and sometimes life-ending situations, you can trace the increase in these basically back to the time when in this country we went to a more industrial food system with a greater number of GMOs and artificial ingredients in foods, and there's seems to be a relationship there. Now, she's very clear about saying that correlation is not causation, right? Just because there's a correlation doesn't mean that these things are actually causing allergies and creating all those problems, especially for young people. But what she does suggest, and I totally agree with this, is that what is called for, since we know that correlation is not the same as causation, what it's called for, first of all, there's got to be a lot of study. We've really got to do a better job in this country of studying the nature of our food supply and what we may be doing to people, not necessarily on purpose, okay? Although sometimes in the pursuit of profit and the pursuit of margins, corners get cut. It's a lot cheaper sometimes to use artificial ingredients than to use the real thing. But it's certainly a time for radical transparency, that people should know more than ever what is in their food. And this is something, I've been writing about this in one form or another on Morning Newsbeat practically from the beginning when I started it almost 18 years ago. I don't think I ever would have used the term radical transparency, but I totally get what she's saying. And listen, her experience and her opinions are rooted in things that happened to her children in terms of seeing where there were problems. And she brought a financial analyst's attitude and acumen to studying the issues that we may be having within the food industry. And I think she's absolutely right. Radical transparency, telling people what's in the food, that's really, really important. So I really recommend, I recommend you go to Dan Barber's restaurants because, what the heck, if you can afford it, that's a great thing to do. But I totally recommend that you check out the Robin OBrien. She has a really important message, and I think it's something that we need to be thinking more about in the food industry. And of course, I recommend the Organic Produce Summit. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning, and as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.